Okay, Year 7. So we're starting a new topic, which is statistics and probability, which is chapter 9. And sorry, I can't be there today. I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm just going to go through the theory behind 9.2. Now, 9.1 is sort of collecting data, and we can always do that. A number of the students have already started that last class. But I'd like you all to have a go at this today, and I'm going to sort of give you the theory for it. Okay, so first of all, when we're sort of looking at data, there are quite a few terms that we have to familiarize ourselves with. So, for example, we have the mean. Now, what is the mean? I guess you could sort of think of it as the average. And the average, sorry, my dog just won't shut up. The average is where basically the average value for all the data. So, but we actually know that in maths is the mean. So you can see here the mean. We've got the mean, and that's the sum of all data values divided by the number of values. So for example, let's just say if we had 26, let's not worry about what they actually mean at the moment, but we've got these data values. If we wanted to find the mean is the sum of all the values. So we would add them together, 20 plus 6 plus 4 plus 5, which is 9, 15, 35. And then we have number of data values. So the number of data values we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the mean is actually the sum of those values divided by the number of values. So we've actually got 4 values. Now, it doesn't always have to be a nice round number. The mean is just sort of the average. But obviously in this case, let's just say if this was the score in a basketball match for a quarter, then you can quite clearly see that you can't score half a point, but you can find the average. So the average, let's just say this was the score of a basketball match for each quarter for a team, then the average score each quarter, or the mean, would be 35 divided by 4. Which 32 divided by 4 is 8, 3 over 4, so is, let's just say 8.75. So the average scored for this quarter, for each quarter, would be 8.75 points. Clearly that can't happen, but that would be the average. And you can clearly see that this value here, this 20, is a fair bit larger. So although this 8.75, only one quarter was higher than the mean, but you can quite clearly see that this value is a great deal larger than the mean. So it's brought the mean up. So the mean is the average of the data set, and you do it using this formula, summing all the data and dividing by the number of values. When you get the median is, I guess, the middle value, and so it's another thing starting with M that you've got to remember, and it'll probably pay to write these down. Median is actually the middle value, but there's two cases. First of all, if there's an odd number of values, we take the center value. So for example, if I have 1, 5, 11, 7, and 2. Well, first of all, we've got to arrange these in ascending order. So it's really important that we do that because we have to find our middle value. Now, if the number of values of odd, you can see here that we have 5 values. So this is actually an odd, which means that we use the middle value here. So let's have a look at that. We've got a odd number of values. So let's arrange these in ascending order, which is basically if you're ascending the stairs, you're going from lowest to highest. So we've got 1, 2, 5, 7, and 11. Now, being odd, we can use our middle value. We've got 5 values. The one in the middle is obviously this guy here. So the median for this set of values would be 5. Okay. However, if we were to introduce another data point, let's just say 14, then we can't just take the middle value because we've actually got an even number of things. So if I was to write this out again, 1, 2, 5, 7, 11, and 14, here it says if the number of values is even, select the two middle values, add them together, and divide by 2. So there's two cases for the median. So first of all, we got the two values, and our two middle values are, well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are our two middle values. So what we do is we add them together. So 7 plus 5 is 12, and we divide it by 2, which is equal to 6. So in this case, even though this 6 doesn't occur, the median is still the middle of those two middle values. So obviously that would be 6. So the median is 6 in the case of it being an even number of values. So now we introduce you to another concept or another thing starting with M, and that's the mode. Now the mode is the most common value in the data set. So for example, if we had, let's just say 1, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, it's actually the most common now. What's the most common one here? Clearly we've got 5 3 times. Okay, the rest we only have once. So the mode in this case is 5. Now if you have two things that, let's just say if we added 2 and a 2, you can see there that we've got 3 2's now and 3 5's. So this is what we would call as bimodal. Okay, there's two values. So the mode now would be 2 and 5. And of course, if we had more than, let's just say we introduced 2 more 1's, then that would be multimodal. There'll be actually three or more things which have the same value, or which occur the same amount of times. So you can see here that the mode would be 1, 2, and 5. Okay, that's multimodal. Bimodal is when we had the 5's and the 2's, same amount. But obviously the value which occurs the most is the mode. And finally, we have the range, and that's just the largest data value divided, take away the smallest data value. So like if we had, you know, let's just have 15, 20, 25, and 35, then if we would like to find the range, then the range would be equal to our largest value, which is this one here, take away our smallest value, which is 35 take 15, which is 20. Okay, so there's 4 things that I'd like you to remember. First of all, the mean is the average. The median is the middle point, in which there's two cases. We've got the median for even and odd data values. And finally, we've got the mode, which is the most occurring thing, and the range, which is basically just the largest data value take away the smallest data value. So let's do an example of sort of putting this all together. I've just made up a question here. We've got employees at the bank, and this data here is how much each employee earns an hour. So let's first of all, there's a few things we'll need to do. Let's first of all count how many data values we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we've got 13 data values. So the first thing we can sort of we need to know is that it's an odd number of values. So when trying to find things such as the median, that's going to matter because we need to know there's two cases. It's either odd or it's even, and in this case it's odd. So we can just sort of take the middle value, but if it was even, we would have to do the whole dividing by 2 thing. So let's first of all do the mean. Now, and importantly, we've got 13 values, so we can't actually work out the mean without knowing how many data values we have. So we're working out the mean right now, and let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, how do we find out the mean? Well, the mean is equal to, we'll call the sum of all values divided by the number of values. In this case, we worked out to be 13. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So the mean, and obviously this is a big one, so like you guys, it's fine, you can use your calculators. 21 plus 23 is plus 32 plus 31 plus 45 plus 31 plus 27. I probably shouldn't have made such a big question. 31 plus 15 plus 59 plus, oops, 36 plus 41. And how many values is there? There's 13 values. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll work that out, and we can find our mean. Now remember, this doesn't have to be a whole number, because it probably won't be. 21 plus 23 plus 32 plus 31 plus 45 plus 31 plus 27. Just trying to do this in my head. 29, 31, 15, 59, 36, and 41. So I got 421. 421 is the sum of all those values divided by 13. So if I divide that, what's that going to be about 32? I better just get a calculator for this. 32.38. Let's just round off to 2 decimal places. So the average wage in this bank of 13 employees is $32.38. Now no one earns that, but that's actually the average. Okay, which would sort of, you sort of have a look at these values. Yeah, that would sort of make sense, wouldn't it? Okay. Now the poor cleaner over here only gets $15. Okay, clearly the mean is the average is much higher than that. But you know, if you stay in school, you won't have to be a cleaner. So yeah, let's just stay in school. Median. Let's have a look at the median. Well, the median is we have to arrange from smallest to largest. So that's probably going to be a bit tricky for me to do right now, but let's do that. We've got 13 values, in which the smallest is the poor old cleaner, and they're $15. Who's next? We've got 15. So we've got to arrange this in order. 21, 23, 27, 29. Now 31, we've got 1, 2, 3 times. So we've got to put that in 3 times. And 32, we've got one of those. And we've got, what's next? 36. Okay, so how many we've got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 3 left. So we've got a 36. We've got a 41, a 45, and a 59. Okay, so that, look, you'd probably tend to, most of the questions have less than 13 values, but we've now arranged those in ascending order from smallest to largest. Now, the median, we need to find the middle value. Now, remember that if it's odd, it works out quite nicely because it's actually a value. If it's even, it has to be in between. So, you know, this is our 3. This is our 6th value. This is our 6th value. That's our 8th value. Our middle value is actually in the middle of those. So our median is equal to 31. The next thing is the mode. The mode is the thing that occurs the most. We can have bimodal, we can have multimodal. In this case, the only one that occurs more than once is 31. So our mode is also 31. And the range, well, the range is the smallest value, or the largest value, take away the smallest. So the range is equal to 59 take 15, which is 44. And it says here the median when another staff member is employed with a wage of $32 an hour. Well, what we then do is we insert another 32 there, but all of a sudden we have an even amount. Okay, so we've got an even 14 values. So therefore we have to, this is the 7th value here. And what we need to do then is we need to work out the value in between. So we've actually got to work out, I guess, the difference between those two, or sorry, summing those together and dividing by 2. Well, since they're both the same, the what is it, the median, or yeah, the median would also be 31. But how do we work that out? It's 31 plus 31, and then we divide it by 2, which is 62.31. All right, so what I'd like you guys to do is have a go at those questions, please, from 9.2. Just work your way down. They will all be revolving around this theory that I went through. Yeah, look, you should be have plenty of time in class to get that done. I'd expect those questions to be done for homework, so for doing 9.2. I'd probably suggest most of you have a go at these. Those that are doing really, really well, have a go at these, and those that think, oh, I might sort of want some easier questions, have a go at those. Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow, hopefully.